My roommates told me I should start looking for somewhere else to live. 3 days later, they were the ones scrambling. I moved in with Lauren and Megan halfway through the lease. They were close friends, not sisters, but you wouldn't know it by how they moved together. Every decision was already made before I was included, and somehow, I was always the problem they needed to solve. They treated the apartment like a clubhouse they'd founded. Furniture shifted while I was gone. Shared spaces slowly stopped being shared. Rules appeared in the group chat. Quiet hours, guest limits, cleaning expectations, always after I'd already violated them, apparently. The kitchen became a battleground first. Suddenly, I was using too much fridge space. My groceries disappeared, then reappeared as leftovers I wasn't allowed to touch. When I asked about it, I was told we were sharing food now, and that I needed to be more flexible. When I bought my own mini fridge for my room, they called it antisocial. They kept a chore chart. My name was always highlighted. If a trash bag sat too long, it was mine. If the sink wasn't empty, it was my fault. Once, I came home to Megan photographing a single mug in the sink, saying she needed proof because I deny things. Their friends were over constantly. Weeknights, weekends, random afternoons. But when my brother stopped by to pick something up and stayed for 20 minutes, Lauren sent a message about respecting shared space and threatened to email the property manager. The tension finally snapped during a rent conversation. Lauren announced that since they handled most of the logistics of the apartment, they thought it was fair I start paying more for utilities. When I pushed back, Megan said I was lucky they even let me stay, because they'd already spoken to the landlord about replacing me. They showed me messages, not threatening ones, just enough to make it clear they'd been laying groundwork. They said my lease wouldn't be renewed and suggested I start looking early. I nodded, acted disappointed, and told them I understood. Then I called the landlord. She was polite, direct, and very interested in the part where my rent had never been late and I was offering to move out early without penalties. She told me I could leave at the end of the month and only pay for the days I stayed. That weekend, Lauren and Megan went on a spontaneous beach trip. I packed quietly. I didn't make a scene. I didn't damage anything. I didn't take a single thing that wasn't mine, but it turns out I owned more than they realized. The microwave, the living room furniture, the shoe rack by the door, half the dishes, the vacuum, the router, even the trash cans. By Sunday night, the apartment echoed. I left a labeled folder on the counter with receipts and photos, returned my keys, and blocked both of them. The messages started anyway. Accusations, panic, threats. The landlord called me laughing. Apparently, they'd called her claiming I'd sabotaged the apartment. She reminded them they were now responsible for the full rent until they found someone new. They tried, but showing an apartment with no microwave, no internet, and no living room furniture turns out to be harder than expected. Prospective roommates didn't love the tension either, or the way Lauren and Megan complained nonstop about the unstable former roommate who moved out without notice. By the end of the month, they were short on rent. The landlord didn't evict them. She just didn't renew their lease either. Last I heard, they're renting separate rooms in different apartments now, paying more than before, and telling anyone who'll listen that they were forced out.